Aloha, E.A. Tischler here. Many of you have been waiting for the Secrets of Owning Your Swing Volume 2, Learning to Own Your Swing, and I've just completed an early release of a full color ebook that's available now at www.newhorizonsgolf.com. So we're going to go over an overview here of basically what's in the book. We are starting off with testing your basic post, which relates to your swing anchor feature in Secrets of Owning Your Swing. And this test was actually developed by Mike Adams to help us to identify what your post is, whether you're front post, center post, or rear post golfer. Once we've identified which post fits you, so we know what direction to go with your balance in your body, we have additional refinement tests for testing to what degree you're a front anchor golfer, if you're a front anchor golfer, and these last three here were all front anchor. We also have tests for the rear anchor golfers, full rear anchor, mid rear anchor, and rear center golfers. And then there's a refinement test for center anchor golfers as well, seeing if you're a pure center anchor golfer, a little front of center, or a little behind center. And once again, we can identify exactly where your balance is for your anchoring. The next thing that we do is we identify the way that we step into the golf ball as a front anchor golfer, for example, a rear anchor golfer here, and then a center anchor golfer. There's a different procedure for each anchor player. And when we go into viewing the golf swing so that we can identify whether we're staying in the anchor that we want to, we use this A-frame system to view what's happening. I also go into identifying how to pivot, what sort of pivot action fits your anchor, and these are pictures showing some of the diagrams we use, and pictures and descriptions for figuring out how you're going to rotate in posture and maintain your anchor as you're swinging. And so what we want to do is always understand, all these different features that work with the swing, and one of them is actually your secondary tilt. How do we get secondary tilt in the swing? There are proper ways of getting secondary tilt into the swing, whether you're a front anchor, center anchor, or rear anchor golfer, and there are a variety of ways of doing it. We can do it at address, so that we can actually rotate in posture with sort of counter swivel type actions, and we can do that again with front, center, and rear anchor golfers. Or we can actually add secondary tilt into the forward swing when we create a pendulum type swing, or if we use what I call a swing throw action, which Stack and Tilt uses to get secondary tilt into their stroke as well. So once we've got the body pivot action going, we're going to move on to your swing path. We have another basic test here designed by Mike Adams to quickly identify the area of which our swing path is. Are we on top swing path? Do we have a side on swing path? Or do we have an under swing path? Then we move on to my refinement tests, and my refinement tests help you identify exactly to what degree are you under golfer, or a side-on golfer, or an on-top golfer. I use a weighted ball, and the weighted ball allows us to rotate it at a bunch of different angles so that we can actually test to see exactly to what degree you are side-on, on-top, or under. And we have the diagrams to show you how to go about testing that. Once we understand what your swing path is, we're going to go ahead and work on some exercises to help you condition and strengthen your swing path. I have a weighted ball throw drill that we do against the wall, and we also look at how do we set up to the ball or address to the ball as an on-top golfer or a side-on golfer, under golfer, and I cover that on a variety of different clubs, diagramming how that works for each golfer. And then once we understand what your swing path is, we also know that your lever delivery action has to match your swing path. So if you're an on-top golfer, you're going to have a covering lever delivery action. If you're a side-on golfer, you're going to have a cornering, and if you're an under golfer, you're going to have extending. And I have this heavy release drill that we use with each golfer to dial in that lever delivery action that matches their swing path. If we know your swing path and we know your lever delivery action, we also know your postural release action. Your postural release has to match your lever delivery action. It actually makes room for that lever delivery action to happen. So we cover that as well in the book, and making sure it matches up. Then in the last part of the book, part 4 of the book, we work on organizing things, and we develop what we call a training swing. And we specifically devise a training swing with your biomechanics in mind. In this case, we're looking at your swing anchor, your swing path, your lever delivery, and your postural release. And we're working them all into a training pattern that you can do at home on a regular basis to condition your biomechanics into your golf swing. We also throw in some other applications. I have some power applications. I show a ground force way. I call it load and explode for how we get more ground force into the golf swing. We show some conditioning jump squat exercises as well, and we discuss all these things in detail, throughout that part of the book. Then in the very back of the book, we actually work on your grip and getting your grip alignment to match your biomechanics. We start out with some basic grip alignments and grip options, and then we move into exactly how your lead arm hangs and how we want to match that up on the grip so that it matches your biomechanics throughout your whole swing. Thanks for your time today. Please let me know if you have any questions.